Yeah, right. So right. So yesterday we have seen how to create the what procedure in a different way, and we have generated the database procedure proxy. Okay. So let me just quickly recap that. Let me create one more procedure with a slightly different explanation. Okay. So see here. So far we used to create the procedure in what SQL console. Okay, so what we used to do so far in the HANA Studio, I'm in the HANA development perspective. First, let me connect to the database. So in the Systems tab, I log on to the database. Right. So once it is successfully connected, what we used to do is in the catalog section. Okay, in the catalog section, we used to open our SQL console. So our schema is what Gensoft SQL. We used to open the SQL console, and we used to create the procedure by using a statement what create procedures once. Okay, so that procedure we are able to create, and we are able to call it from the SQL console itself. Okay, so if you create the procedure in this way, that is if you create the procedure directly in the what catalog section, okay, you'll have only runtime objects. Okay, means the moment you write that logic for creating the procedure, when you execute, what happens, procedure gets created, a runtime object gets what created. Okay, we can call that particular procedure by using what call statement. Okay, so if you want to modify that procedure, okay, if you want to modify that procedure, it will not allow us to do the modification in the runtime object. For example, this is the catalog. In our schema, Gensoft SQL, I'll go to the procedure section. So we have what many procedures which we created earlier. Okay, which we created earlier. Let me open one of the procedure. Suppose I'll open this for underscore test. So when I open here, okay, so this is a procedure. If I double click, it has opened that particular runtime object. I cannot do the editing here. I cannot do changes in my procedure. Okay, so I repeat once again. So far, we used to create the procedure directly in the catalog. So in that approach, only runtime object will be generated. It is not possible to edit the procedure at later point of time. So what we can do now is we can create the procedure in a different way, so that we'll have two types of objects. One is a design time object, another is what runtime object. In future, if you want to do any changes, you can do the changes also in the design time object. And another thing is we can encapsulate the procedure as part of a package, so that when you are creating the database procedure proxy, it will always expect the procedure name as part of a package. We have to say package name dot what procedure name. So what I'll do now is in my schema, first of all, let me quickly create one table. I can use the yesterday's table, but I want to do some small changes. Okay, this is a table we created yesterday, my EMP department. Okay, so let me quickly go for creating a new table. Okay, so here I'll say this is my Gensoft SQL. I'll right click on the what table. I'll go for new table. I'll give the table name as Gensoft EMP department. Okay, Gensoft EMP department. I'll give the field name as something EMP ID. Let me give it as integer. Okay, EMP ID integer. Then I'll take another field, E name. Let me give it as N varchar. I'm not going for varchar. You'll understand that later point of time. I'll go for N varchar. Okay, and I'll give the size as something 25. Let me create one more field, department number. This also let me give it as integer. That, so I created the table with what three columns. Let me execute this. The table gets created with the three columns: EMPID, ENAME, and what? Department number. It's still creating. The table is created. Done. Okay, now let me what? Refresh the table section. Yeah, the table is available. Gensoft EMP department. Let me insert some data here. So I'll generate what insert statement. The template will be generated. Here I'll provide the data. I'll give the employee number 1. I'll give Raju. I'll give the department number as 10. Right. So this is my data. Let me execute this. Yeah, all the rows are what created. So if you see the content, we have this particular 7 records. Okay, now what is my requirement is I want to create a procedure. I want to create a procedure, and I want to consume that procedure from what? Our ABAP report. Okay, so if I directly create the procedure in the what SQL console, what happens? What only runtime object will be generated, not SQL console. Basically, if you directly create the procedure in the catalog section, only runtime object will be generated. I will not have the option to edit the procedure. That's the reason what I'll do is let me create the procedure in what inside what content. Okay, so first yesterday what we did in the content section, in the systems tab, only in the content section, I went to, or in the repositories tab, I will in the repositories tab, let me open that. We went to one existing package. What we did, we went to something called as SAP package. It has got some sub packages: sap.bc.epm.oia. Something in DFG. We have created some procedures yesterday. Okay, in the DFD, yeah, this is a procedure I created. Get underscore emp underscore data is a procedure I created. Okay, so I created that in one of the existing package. So now what I'll do, I let me create my own package. Okay, so that I can store the procedure inside my package. So I can create the procedure in the repositories tab. I can create the package in the repositories tab, or I can create in the systems tab. So what I'll do is let me go to the systems tab. Okay, we have catalog and content. Okay, so this is my content. These are all the existing packages. So I'll right click on the content. Okay, in the systems tab, I'll right click on the content. I'll say new package. Understood? I'm trying to create my own package so that I can store my procedures. Yesterday, I have not created the package. I have directly created the procedure is one of the predefined package. So right click on the content, new package. It is asking me the package name. So this is a mandatory field. So I'll give the package name as something Gensoft package something. Okay, I'm giving the name of the package Gensoft package. I'll give the description. Then it is asking something called as delivery unit. We don't know anything about transport management at this stage. Just leave it. This is not mandatory here. So the name of the package is what? Z Gensoft package. Since you are from SAP background, okay, ABAP background, I'll start with what? Z, not compulsory. Okay, Z Gensoft package. Say okay. Done. The package would be created. Let me right click on the content and I'll say refresh. Somewhere at the bottom, yeah, you can see this is a package got created. As of now, if I expand this, my package doesn't have any objects. So what I'll do is, as part of this package, I want to create a what? Procedure. So as of now, we are in which tab here? Systems tab. So I'll right click on the package. Try to understand. I'll right click on the package, say what? New. There is an option called as what? Procedure. Okay, so in the systems tab, I'll right click on the created package, new procedure. When I'm trying to create the procedure, I got an error. Creating a new procedure is deprecated in the modular perspective. Use the repositories or project explorer view in the development perspective to create the stored procedure. So what it is saying is, it is not allowing me to create the procedure directly here. Okay, this is very much supported in the older versions, and in the older versions, as of now, we are in what? Development perspective. In the older versions, we used to what? Log on to what? Modular perspective. We used to open the modular perspective. Directly we can right click on the package and create the procedure there, but now it is deprecated. They're asking us to create the procedure as part of the repositories tab in what? Development perspective. So let me go to repositories tab. Let me check whether I'm having that package just now. We check created under what? Content. Okay, so what you have to understand is, content will hold design time object, catalog will hold what? Runtime object. So let me go to repositories first. If I expand this, okay, let me right click on this and say refresh. Let me check my package. Sorry, let me check the package. What is that? Yeah, you can see we have what? Z Gensoft package. So if I expand this, as of now, my package doesn't have any object. So what is the agenda now? Creating the procedure. So let me right click on my package. I'm in the repositories tab now. When I'm trying to create under the system tab, it is not allowing. So in the repositories tab, I'll right click on the package. I'll say new. I don't have procedure directly here. Okay, let me go for right click on the package, new other. I'll go to new other. Yeah, here you can search for that. So you can see one of that node here, stored procedure. So let me choose what? Stored procedure. I'll say next. Done. Right. So this is my package, Z Zensoft package. File name. Okay. So I'll give the file name as, I mean to say, file name in the sense procedure name here. I'll give the procedure name as get underscore what? Employee underscore department. So what is the procedure name I'm trying to give? Get underscore employee underscore department is my procedure name. And you can see here, we have at the background, it creates some files. We are not concerned about the files. So it is asking the format. What is the extension? It should be .htdp procedure, or it should be .procedure. You can observe here. Here they gave it as .procedure deprecated, but still this .htdp procedure is not yet supported. Might be in the future versions, SAP might support the .htdp procedure. So as of now, go for what? Procedure. Even though they are saying it as deprecated, it is still supported. HTTP procedure is not supported yet. Okay, so I'll go for what? Procedure only. Okay, so at the background it might create some XML files. We are not concerned with that. What is the procedure name? Get underscore employee underscore target schema. Okay, you can see the extension here. Procedure it seems. Okay, what is the target schema? You choose the target schema as what? Sys underscore big. Choose the target schema as what? Sys underscore big. Okay, you'll understand the reason. I'll go for sys underscore big, which is a predefined schema. Say okay. So you try to store all your procedures in the sys underscore big, so that I can expose it to what? ABAP. Okay, so sys underscore big, say finish. Yeah, now you can see it is allowing me to what? Create the procedure. The template is auto generated. Okay, so create procedure. This is my schema name dot procedure name. Okay, done. What is my agenda here? I want to get the employee data. So I don't want to give any input parameter. When I execute my procedure, it has to return me all the what records in that particular table. What is the table just now we created under the Gensoft SQL under tables? Gensoft EMP department is a table which I created, which has got three columns: EMP ID, ename, and department number. Okay, done. So now here, since I don't want any input parameters, I'll just give the output parameter, out. You can give any parameter reference. I'll give it as iTab. That is available as part. I need to refer to the table, which is part of my schema. So I'll say Gensoft SQL dot what is the table name? Gensoft EMP department. Okay, so this is my what signature of my procedure. It has got one out parameter. This is a schema name dot the table name done, and what is the default language supported? SQL script. Even if you don't give this language, by default it takes out SQL script. And this SQL security, what is the mode available as of now? Invoker. Let me keep it as it is. Okay, later on I'll change it if it is required. Okay, so we have two types of SQL security modes. One is invoker, another is definer. I'll tell you what is the meaning of that. So then what I want is inside my procedure body, I want to refer to the objects. I want to refer to the database objects which are part of my schema. What is my schema? Gens of SQL. So I'll instruct the HANA database. The default schema is what? Here you provide the default schema, means from whichever schema you want to refer from whichever schema you want to refer to the objects, you provide that particular schema name. So I'll give it as what? Gens of SQL. Okay, so that if you specify this default schema, I need not prefix my object name every time with what? Schema name. Okay, then I'll say what is the output parameter reference? iTab is equal to, I'll say select star from, I want all the three fields from what is my table name? Gensoft EMP department. So I'm not prefixing this table. I'm not prefixing this table with the schema name, because already I mentioned the default schema as so and so, which instruct that the objects referred in the procedure body are part of that particular default schema. Okay, if you want to use the object of some other schema, yes, you need to prefix that object with the schema name. If you don't prefix, it will take the objects from the specified default schema. Done. This is the procedure I created. Let me check whether it will be executed or not. Okay, right. So I'll say F8. Okay, I can say F8, or simply I'll say right click on this. uh, okay, first let me save it. Yes, it is saved. Right click on that. I have to do the syntax check. How to do? Control F2, or else right click on this and say what? Validate. The validation completed with no errors or what? Warnings. Done. Then I need to activate this. So I'll right click on this. Okay, I can say Control F3. Okay, I can say Control F3. Okay, or right click on this and say team activate. Control F3. Okay, okay, it is asking assign the objects to a chain, just like in our ABAP environment we give the change request. Here also there is something like change here, so I can choose the existing one. Don't worry about this. Again, this will come under transport management. You can choose this one, or else I'll go for new change. I'll say something, some description I'll give. Somewhere it will be listed out here. I'll choose that, say finish. It is trying to activate now. Done. So activation is completed successfully. Now what I need to do? Okay, so the procedure got what? Created. The procedure got created. Now, okay, let me just refresh this. I'm refreshing this. Let me close all this. So I've created a procedure, get underscore employee underscore department. Still we are in the repositories tab only. Okay, now let me navigate to our package. Okay, see here under this package we have what? The database stored procedure get underscore employee underscore department. So when I double click on this, When I double click on this is the procedure. Okay. Now let me try to modify this here. Okay, I'll try to modify this. Suppose I'll try to remove this comment. I'm able to do this. I'm able to do this. This is nothing but what? Design time object. Nothing but design time object. Understood? Right click on this. Since I modified, let me quickly reactivate that. Okay, it will be reactivated. I removed the comments. Okay, means I have done some changes. I'm able to what edit the procedure because I'm in two versions now. One is runtime object, another is what design time object. So we are in the repositories tab now. Let me go to systems catalog. I'll let me complete this, then you can ask the questions. Yeah, done. So the changes have been successfully what activated. Now let me go to systems tab. Okay, in the systems tab, I'll go to first content. Let me close this. I'll go to the content. What is our package name? G Gensoft package. Right click on this. I'll say refresh. It is not refresh. Yeah. Okay. Now if I expand this, we have procedures. We have this get underscore employee underscore department. If I double click on this, right? So this is your procedure body, and this is your signature of your procedure. Okay. Done. Now again, this is design time object. Let me close this. I'll go to I'll go to catalog now. In the catalog, okay, in the catalog, in which schema I stored it under sys underscore big. The procedure is stored in the sys underscore big. So let me expand this on the procedure section. Yeah, somewhere here you can observe. Okay, if you scroll down here, yeah, you can see Gensoft package z Gensoft package slash get underscore employee underscore department. If I double click on this, yes, this is the procedure which got created. Okay, this is nothing but the runtime object. Runtime object in the sense, whenever you're trying to call the procedure, you need to refer to the signature of this particular runtime object. So let me just copy it for my reference. Yeah, this is my overall procedure name. Now I want to test whether it is working fine or not. So how do we test it? Generally in this catalog, okay, in your schema you can open your SQL console. Okay, here let me say call so and so. What is the signature of this? It has got one output parameter, so I'll give the placeholder here. Done. When I execute this, when I say f8, yeah, I got the entire data successfully. So I'm able to call it from what database level itself. I'm able to call it from the database level. So my procedure is successfully created with both the design time object and what runtime object. Now what is my agenda? I want to consume this particular what ANA stored procedure from what ABAP report. So directly I cannot consume. We need to create what already I discussed this. We need to expose this database procedure as what database procedure proxy, database procedure proxy, so that I can call it from our ABAP report. So how do we do it now? Now for doing that, for creating the database procedure proxy, you need to shift to ABAP perspective. So far we are in what? HANA development perspective. So what I did in the HANA development perspective, first of all I created the package. How do you create the package? Either right click on that content and say create package, or go to repositories, right click there and create the package. Once a package is created, you can in the repositories tab, right click on your package and create the procedure. Okay, I created my procedure with what default schema, all those things. Then I've activated that, then I've tested my procedure from the database level itself. Procedure is successfully created. Now I need to expose it to ABAP, so that's the reason I need to create what? Database procedure proxy. For that I need to shift to what? ABAP perspective. So I'll choose window, perspective, open perspective, other. I can choose what? ABAP perspective, or else on the application toolbar I'm having a icon here, ABAP perspective. I'll just choose this. Done. We are in the ABAP perspective. Let me close this. What are the fields? EMP ID, e-name and department number. And the procedure name is get underscore employee underscore department. Let me close all this thing just to avoid confusion, or else let it be like that. Now, in one of the instance here, okay, it is asking me to connect. I'm in the ABAP perspective now. Let me connect. Yeah, we are connected now. So what you have to do now, here also you can create your own package. Now this package is similar to what are the package we create in our object navigator in SCAT. I can create, you can log on to that SAP system by using SAP GUI. You can create the package in SCAT, and that package will reflect here. That package will reflect here. Okay, or else I can directly create the package here. It will also reflect there. Okay, the package creation is not mandatory now. What I can do, I can right click on the local object. Okay, right click on the local object. I'll say new other ABAP repository object. I need to create what? Database procedure proxy. So I'll say I'm just querying for what? Database procedure proxy. Database procedure proxy. Say next. Done. It is asking the name of the proxy. Okay, so for my convenience I'll give the name of the proxy as, what is the name of my procedure? Z get underscore employee underscore department. Okay, so let me give this as, one second, let me give this as Z get underscore employee underscore department underscore proxy. You can give any name. I'm just giving my procedure name suffixed with what? Proxy. You can give any name. Okay, fine. And you can see here, based on your database procedure proxy name, SAP is generating one interface. What is the interface here? Okay, this is my database procedure proxy, and this is my interface which we can view in the class builder. Okay, this is my interface which got generated automatically based on my database procedure name. It is asking for the description, some description. That is asking the procedure name, ANA procedure. So you can put the cursor and you can what? Provide that entire path. What is that path? This is a package name and so on. So instead of we remembering that, we have this small icon here, content assistant available, content assist available. So how do we open that content assistance available? Say control space, put the cursor in that input field, say control space, it will load it. Now here you can query for, you can search for that. What is that? Get underscore employee underscore department. Let me provide my procedure name. It is suffixed with your package name, package name dot so and so. Okay, done. I'll say next. Done. Since I'm creating the local object, is not asking for any request, I'll say finish. Done. Done. Yeah, so here this is the ANA procedure. This is my procedure interface, and this is the what? Signature. This is the signature, EMPID, ename department. Yeah, at the ANA database role in the procedure, what are the data types I took? Integer, n varchar 25 and integer. Now when it is replicating, when it is exposing to ABAP, what are the corresponding data types it is taking? Integer as I, n varchar of 25 is what? C length 25, character of what? 25. Understood? That's the reason I took n varchar of what? 25. N varchar of 25. When you're practicing, you try to take varchar, it will give error here. Okay, so as of now, okay, SAP is not proposed all the corresponding mapping data types for what? ANA data types. SAP has not proposed, SAP has not proposed what? The corresponding ABAP data types for all the ANA data types. So you should be very careful. You should be very careful when you are providing the what? ANA data type parameters here. If you give varchar, it will give error. Okay. So again, I need to go back to my procedure and adjust it. Okay. Anyhow, I'll take one more example, then you'll understand that. So as of now, it is successfully mapped. And then you can see, so this is my procedure and this is my proxy name. There is a button here, synchronize. Synchronize means in future if I modify my procedure, in the sense, if I modify the signature of the procedure, or if I modify the business logic of my procedure, it should be synchronized parallelly with what? Your ANA database procedure proxy. So if you want that kind of relationship, you can go for what? Synchronize. As of now, there is no change. As of now, there is no change in my procedure definitions. I'm not going forward synchronize. Once I complete this, I'll modify this, then I'll talk about synchronize again. Just leave it for the timing. Then what you have to do, we need to activate this. How do we activate? There is a button here, activate. You need to activate your interface. I can just click on this interface. Yeah, it will open me that interface editor. You can see at the background interface, and in interface it has provided one types declaration. Let me activate this. Yeah, interface is successfully activated. Let me activate my database procedure proxy. Done. Database procedure proxy is successfully activated. Done. Done. Okay, so can I see this procedure proxy here? Somewhere it will be available here. It will be available somewhere here under local objects, under ANA user. Yeah, under dictionary. Yeah, let me close. I'm closing these things. Okay, I'm closing all these things. So under ANA user, under dictionary, yeah, you can see database procedure proxies. If I expand this, yeah, you can see z get under, sorry, this z get under, this is the proxy which I created yesterday, I think. Okay, z get underscore employee underscore department underscore proxy. You can open that same thing. Done. So we are done up to this part. Okay, now what is the next agenda? I need to consume it from my ABAP report. I need to consume it from ABAP report. Okay, so what I'll do now is yeah, so how do you consume? Now I need to develop an executable program. Okay, so I can log on to my SAP system through what? SAP GUI. SAP GUI. Okay, I can give the credentials here. This process anyhow we know, but going forward, SAP may not support SAP GUI. Every development should be done through ANA Studio only. So it is always better we get used to the ANA Studio. Okay, so in the ANA Studio itself, okay, in my ABAP perspective only, somewhere here we have source code library. Okay, I can expand this. What you want to develop? A program. Okay, so this is my program here. Okay, so you can, what you can do, you need to create the ABAP program. Okay, all the ABAP program will be listed here. Okay, so I want to create a new ABAP program. So what I can do, right click on this, new, what is this? ABAP program. Right click on the local object in whichever package you want to create. Right click on that, new ABAP program. Let me say new ABAP program. Yeah, it is asking me the name of the program. You can give that. Okay, or else you can do it from what? What? SAP GUI. Okay, so if this is a confusion anyhow, this will be using it what in every class going forward. So let me cancel this. I can create like this, or else for our convenience for the time being, let me log on through SAP GUI only. I'll just try to connect to my SAP system which is having the HANA database. Oh, it's taking time. One second. It's taking time. Let me try from here. Right click on this new ABAP program. I'll give the program name as z consume underscore emp proxy. Z consume underscore emp proxy. Description, I'll give them description consume emp proxy. Okay, z consume underscore emp proxy. Say next. Here also it is taking time. Okay, good. Okay, here also it is corrected. Done. Okay, I can connect it from there. I will just say finish here. It has to open with the ABAP editor. Done. Understood? It has opened the ABAP editor. Let me just try to do that. So, yeah. So here, what I have to do, I need to what? Uh, Consume that particular what ANA stored procedure. What is the proxy I created already documented here? Yeah, this is a procedure proxy name, and what is the interface? This is the interface. Let me check the interface in this SAP system. I'll go to SC24. What is the interface here? This is the interface. Let's provide that display. Done. Done. Okay, generated for the proxy so and so. If I go to types tab, yes, we have one type. Done. Yeah, I got this is a types declaration. This is a types declaration available in my what interface. What is that interface name? This is the interface name. So now let me just say data t underscore emp type table of what is my procedure name. This is my procedure name. Sorry, this is my interface name, not procedure name. Interface name implies whenever we access in our object oriented, whenever we access types declaration by using the interface name, we have to use implies operator. Okay, so implies what is my type name. Type name is what? itab. Okay, so I'll say implies itab. Then let me declare the work area also. Type implies itab. So I declared one. Why I got error? Yeah, I declared one internal table and work area. Now I'll say call. Yeah, you can see the statement call database procedure. Understood? Call database procedure. What is the signature of a procedure? It has got one export parameter. So already we know export becomes what? Import. What is that parameter name in the procedure level? Itab equal to what is that? I'll say t underscore emp. That's all. Why I'm getting error? Oh, I'm sorry. Call database procedure. I didn't give the database procedure proxy name. Na? What is the database procedure name? Proxy name z get underscore employee underscore department underscore proxy. Sorry. Done. Yeah. Okay, what is the syntax? Call database procedure. We should not give the procedure name, we have to give the proxy name, database proxy name. Done. That's it. I hope this will work. If t underscore emp is not initial, if it is not initial, I'll say loop at t underscore emp into w underscore emp. We know the fields. What are the fields in my interface? Just now we have seen. In the type declaration, we have emp id, ename, and department number. So w underscore emp hyphen emp id. Then I'll say w underscore emp hyphen employee name, w underscore emp hyphen department number, and then I'll say end loop, and I'll simply say end if. Okay, done. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error. Contains no errors. Let me activate this. Done. It is successfully activated. Let me execute. I'll say F8. Will it come? Oh, I'm trying to execute. Oh, right. So we got an error here. What is this? SQL error 258 has occurred during execution of database procedure. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to call the proxy. I'm trying to call the proxy. Here it is showing what sys underscore big dot so and so. What is the procedure at the background? Get underscore what? Employee underscore. It is trying to call that only. Okay, but what it is saying here? Database error, insufficient privilege. Insufficient privilege. So and so insufficient privilege not authorized. So this user, I logged into which user here? HANA user is not having the permission, is not having the permission to execute that particular what procedure. So we need to contact the HANA administrator and ask him to give the privileges, ask him to give the privileges for executing the procedures in which user? HANA user. Okay, that again, that is the job of what? Administrator. So what I will do here is, we are not concerned about that what providing the permission and revoking the granting the permission, revoking the provision. It is all the admin task. So what I'll do now is, since this user has not got the permission to execute that procedure, okay, let me just close this. Okay, let's close this. I'll shift back to my ana development. Okay, shift back to my ana development. Let me open my procedure. I'll close everything here, or else let it be like that. Okay, I'll go to repositories tab under my package. This is my procedure. I'll do one small change. Yeah, SQL security. What is there here? Invoker is there. Invoker means we are telling the HANA database that when you are executing the procedure, use the permissions of the caller, use the permissions of the caller to execute the procedure. Invoker means the user whoever calls the procedure. So this will instruct the HANA database saying that you try to use the permissions available for the calling user in order to execute the procedure, but the calling user is not having the permission in this case. So what I'll do is, I'll remove this as invoker. I'll make it as definer, which indicates what we are instructing the HANA database that you use the permissions of the what? Owner of the procedure. Use the permissions of the owner of the procedure whenever you are trying to call the procedure. Am I clear? This indicates HANA database saying that, this indicates SAP that you use the permissions of what? The procedure owner while invoking the procedure. Okay, so let me just save this. That is the meaning of the SQL security invoker and what? Definer. Definer means owner, whoever creates the procedure. Done. Let me try to validate this. No errors. Done. Let me try to reactivate. Right click on this team and say activate. Done. It is completed successfully. Done. Now what I'll do? Okay, done. What I'll do now? Once I create the procedure, let me go to ABAP perspective again. let me try to let me try to open my proxy. Okay, so where it is available, under this, under dictionary. Okay, can I refresh here? I'll refresh. I'll double click on my proxy, z8 underscore employee underscore department underscore proxy. I'll double click, done. Okay, so I'll just say synchronize. Actually, I have not changed the signature. I don't think it is required. Okay, I'm not clicking on synchronize. Let me check what happens. Let me reactivate this. I'll just go there. I'll reactivate. Yes, it is reactivated. Let me activate this also. Yes, it is reactivated. I have not clicked on synchronize because I have not changed the signature of my procedure. I have not changed the business logic of my procedure. I think it works. Let me check. Done. So I have reactivated this. Now let me go back to my program which we already created under what? Source code library, under program section. What is my program name? Z consume so and so. Okay, so somewhere here, yeah, you can see z consume underscore emp proxy. I think this only. Let me double click on this. Done. Let me try to execute. Save it, check it, activate this. Activated that. Let me say F8. Oh, good. I got the data. We are able to consume that HANA stored procedure in my ABAP report. Okay, successfully executed. I got all the records. So now, if you have any questions anywhere, please ask me.
Sir, which user we have created the procedure?
Not user. There it is. What? Yeah, HANA user, HANA database user.
So in the both the cases, I think you are using the same user only, na?
That is database user. This is application server user.
Okay.
Understood? In
Okay,
the
you mean the
hmm,
privileges will be different for the database
yeah,
user and
yes, would be
application
different.
user.
Yes, yes, obviously, na. So
Okay.
actually, what the administrator will do is, if he wants, he can execute some grant statement. Okay, and he can give the permissions for the caller also. But since we are not from admin part, okay, so that's the reason I have changed it to a definer. So we need not worry about the caller permissions. Okay, just to see the output, I have given like that.
Can you show me the path for repository?
Yeah, in the same ANA development perspective, this is the repository tab. Na?
No, from system. If I am there in the systems tab, then
Yeah, systems tab, you'll have catalog content so and so. Okay,
okay.
here you go to repositories tab. Okay, and here what is our
Mm.
package name? Z gens of package. This is the procedure I created.
This I am fine, but
Yeah,
initially I am there in the modeling, and then if I want to shift on to the repositories, how can I do?
okay. Suppose here, let me go to open perspective. Other, assume that I am in the modeler perspective now. Okay, I am in which
Okay.
perspective? Modeler perspective. Okay, so see what you have to understand here is first procedure we should know. What you have to do, we have to, what is the agenda? Create the stored procedure. Where do we create the stored procedure? In the development perspective. So what I did, I I shifted to development perspective. Okay, I went to this open perspective on our development. What I did initially, there are two things you can do here. Either of the things you can do. In the repository, in the I mean ANA development perspective, directly in the repositories tab. Okay, in the repositories tab, you can right click on this path and say new repository package. I can create this package here, or else in the systems tab, right click on the content and say what new package. Whatever the package you create here, it will be available in the repository also. So what I did in our discussion, I created one package by right clicking on the content. What is the package name I gave? Something Z gensoft package. Okay, then in order to create the procedure, when I try to create the procedure directly in the systems tab, when I right click on this, when I say new procedure, it is giving an error. It is deprecated here. So go to the, in the same perspective, in the development perspective, go to the repositories tab. Okay, right click on your package and say what? A new. new, other, search for stored procedure, say next. Okay, provide your procedure name and provide the target schema as what sys underscore big. So once a procedure is successfully created, we need to what expose it to what ABAP environment. For that I need to create the database procedure proxy. How do you create that? You need to shift to ABAP perspective. In the ABAP perspective, you can create your own package here, otherwise not required. Directly on the local object, right click, say new, other repository object, search for what database procedure proxy, say what next, provide your proxy name, it will propose one interface name, provide your procedure name, say next. That's all. Activate your interface, activate your database procedure proxy. Then we need to consume it from our ABAP report. You log on to that SAP system either through SAP GUI or directly in the ABAP perspective only. Okay, since I want to develop a executable program, what I did here, I clicked on the local object and I said what new ABAP program. It will ask you the program name, provide the program name, develop it and execute as usual. Any other doubts?
Hi, Sridhar.
Yeah, Pularo, tell me.
Okay. You have created the stored procedure and the schema sys underscore big.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, tell
Is
me.
it mandatory to create, to create in under sys underscore big, or we can create our own schema?
No, actually, I tried in creating my own schema, but it is not recognizing that. It is not recognizing that when you are creating the database procedure proxy. And I read the documentations also. In the document also, they are clearly saying to store your, in order to expose it to ABAP, you need to store your procedure in that particular schema, predefined schema sys underscore big. Otherwise, I
Okay,
can
great.
I can create in other schemas, but I cannot expose it to what ABAP.
Okay, that means it is a mandatory to create under sys underscore big.
In case if you want to expose it outside this HANA database, yes.
Okay. Okay, and the next thing is in order to utilize the standard SAP tables,
Hmm.
where we can the schema for the tables.
You want to use standard tables which are available in the ABAP dictionary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be available in
Can
the.
I can
Yeah. Tell me.
can I use directly? Can
Yeah,
I use directly, or I must mention the schema name on in order
yeah.
to fetch
Man,
the data?
you need to mention the schema name. We should know in which schema they are replicated. You must refer to that
Mm-hmm.
particular schema. Yes, mandatory. If I directly give Mara, it will not recognize.
So in that case, we need the schema names, right? So
Yes.
where we can check that?
Yeah, in the, I think it will be available under in the systems tab. This is the IDS version. Mm, let me check it in this SAP ABAP one. Yeah, it is available in this one, SAP ABAP one schema. SAP ABAP one.
It's about one schema. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, that and my next question is okay. You have the schema and okay. Um, you are telling me that the data type sometime the HANA data types is not suitable or not convertible to ABAP side.
Correct.
Okay. If we give the standard SAP as a table output reference, so sometime we can't change that one because we are unable to change.
Done.
Okay.
That is the
In that
reason.
case,
Yeah,
I
no, that is the
create
reason.
table.
Yeah, that is the reason. Yeah, we already discussed. We need to create a table type. We need to create a
Yeah,
table
yeah, yeah.
type. Refer to that.
Okay, I got it. That's fine.
Yeah.
And hotel for once you create that up till that point is very good, clear. And the next one is ABAP proxy. Come to the proxy.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you changed the data type or something,
Uh-huh.
and maybe you added the one more data type.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any functionality to regenerate the proxy, or we need to click the synchronize only?
Yeah, just click on the synchronize. Okay, it will check.
Mm-hmm.
It will check the compatibility. If it is everything is
Mm-hmm.
fine, it will automatically adjust the proxy also. You need not do anything else. Just click on the synchronize button.
Nothing to.
Nothing. Yeah. Anyhow, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll take the same procedure. I have not given any
Mm-hmm.
input. I have not given any input parameter. Today we have taken only what output parameter. Tomorrow, I'll modify my
Mm-hmm.
procedure with some input parameter. Okay, then it will show me the error in the proxy level. So if I click on the synchronize button, it will check the compatibility. If it is fine, if the mapping is fine, it will regenerate the proxy. And the same signature you need to adjust it in the ABAP report also.
Okay, that's fine. And the next thing is for coming to the security point of definer and the invoker.
Mhm.
Maybe I created the stored procedure now. Inside the stored procedure, I called multiple schemas. Maybe like default schema what we use the GenSoft.
Done, done.
I'm not using the GenSoft. I'm using the standard SAP. That is the real time actually. We are
Okay,
using the multiple standard SAP tables.
correct.
Okay, maybe if even maybe stored procedure I am the one is created, but inside the object in the stored procedure I am using the some other guys maybe standard SAP tables that is not no need to be created by me.
Okay, yeah, understood. Okay. Mhm.
So, but the stored procedure is defined. Yeah, I'm given the syntax prototyping as a definer, but inside the object is maybe standard SAP one. What it is going to be do if in that case?
Yeah, it will give me an error, and the design time itself, it will give an error
Hmm.
insufficient privilege. Okay, in the design time
In the
itself.
design time itself.
Yes, yes. In the design itself, when I'm trying to do the syntax check, when I'm trying to do the syntax check, it will give an error. So at that time, I believe yesterday I got the same issue. You need to use this option, grant. Okay,
Hmm.
select on what schema.
I guess even sometimes we can't able to execute this command as well because of permissions in the system.
Yeah, that no,
Are you
that
with me?
correct. I understand that we are nowhere
Yeah.
concerned with that. We are nowhere concerned with it. It is a job of the administrator. Okay, the
Yeah,
necessary.
I'm with you.
So the necessary
Okay.
privileges should be given by the administrator itself. Generally, no.
Okay, that's great.
Generally, I got this issue many times. When I do this, when I execute this grant option, it is working fine.
Mm-hmm.
When I got that issue, but still, are you saying if there are further privileges to be given as a consultant, as a technical consultant, we may not have the what we may not have the sufficient
Worry about.
knowledge. Yeah, so we need to
Yeah.
discuss with the administrator. He will give the necessary privileges. Generally, no, they'll give it as grant any privilege so that you can use anything on your procedure.
Okay, just like SAP all.
Yes, yes, SAP all correct. In the when you're creating the user profile, in the user profile you'll say SAP all, so that you'll have all the authorization. Same thing like that. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. And coming to the last question I have,
Mhm.
what is that? Okay, maybe outside of this class, that GUI thing, you're telling me that SAP is no more going to support the
Agree.
GUI.
Yes.
Yeah. What about the functional side? Especially what I have the doubt is
Mhm.
how the functionals is going to configure and how it is works.
I
That's
can
what I have the.
I can open SPR also from here, na. I can go to ABAP perspective. I can open as of now SAP is not supporting all the T codes. Okay, but still going forward, SAP will make sure that all the T codes which are able to execute in SAP GUI can be executed in this HANA Studio also.
Can you show me one transaction where we can comment that?
Okay, 1 second. One second. I can directly open the program. Why to give this? One second. I can directly shift to the initial screen here. Okay, it's not coming. 1 second. I can directly open the SAP Easy Access screen from here.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
No, we can. I did it many times. I'm just checking for the back button. Back button not enabled here. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just running. Yeah, you can see I'm able to run the T code.
Okay.
Right?
Even it's opening the separate session.
Yes. Everything is possible. But again, I read in the documentation it is not supporting all the T codes as of now. Might be in the future releases. Yes, they'll deprecate this SAP GUI, and we have to go for what HANA Studio itself. Not only for HANA database, for normal developments also, we have to go through this HANA Studio only.
But even look and feel everything is same except that is calling from here itself.
That's it. That is the only change. Because all the
Okay,
development activities we'll do through HANA Studio only.
okay, that's
But
great.
Sridhar,
No problem.
how do we call these function modules and all these methods, SAP
Yeah,
standard methods here? Like, is there
ABAP, ABAP program.
any
You'll write the ABAP program. Where do we call the function models? Huh?
no in the program you have to type call function and all that right here.
Huh?
Instead of that, is there any way that we can choose
Huh?
from the
Yeah,
drop down?
here also we have pattern. There we have pattern. Here also we have pattern.
Can you just show us, Sridhar, like the same program? Can you open and see?
Praveen, I am getting out of time. Okay, the other people are waiting.
Okay.
Okay, I'll cover it tomorrow, na? Okay, I'll cover it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay, everything is possible. See, from 2019 or 20, you should forget SAP GUI. Everything has to be done through what? HANA Studio. Whatever you are able to do it in our normal GUI, everything is possible in HANA Studio. Okay, anyhow, I'll show it tomorrow, Praveen. Okay.
Okay.
And tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll change the signature of the procedure also, and we'll see how to synchronize. And another thing we have to discuss is we are doing through database procedure proxy. We should also able to consume through ADBC also. So that part again I'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Any other doubts? Others? Others? No one is asking question. Only two, Praveen or Pularao. Okay then, chalo. Okay, so I'm running out of time. We'll continue tomorrow. I'll try to share this video today only. Practice this. If you have any questions, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay, chalo. Chalo.